I'm Wendy Gilker, and I want to talk today about the two things that come up constantly, and especially now since I've been traveling around a bit and meeting more people, is the excuses people use why they don't eat healthy. And the two excuses are it's too expensive and it takes too much time. And the interesting thing about it was when I thought about doing this about a week ago, just last night I was reading a book by Dr. J. Davidson, I think it was, and he was saying the same exact thing. And, you know, the frustration of hearing that when it's not true. About, first of all, too expensive. Well, for almost 37 years, actually we practiced the plant-based 33 of the 37 years with my daughter Bree. I was at poverty level, and most of that time as a single mom, struggling. And I still bought her plant-based food, both of us, and organic. So it's not, if I could afford it, then it's not too expensive. The difference is what do you prioritize in life? For me, a roof over our head to keep a rental going and the quality of our food was my priority. My daughter's to be able to have her live as long as she could and as healthy and at home. That was my priority. So no, I didn't go on vacations unless I went to family with Bree. I didn't go to movies unless a friend took me, or out to dinner unless a friend invited me out. I just priorities. We bought thrift store clothing. So my priority was quality of food, because food is your medicine, as Hippocrates says, absolutely your medicine. The other thing is that it just takes too much time. Well, anything you learn new takes time. Cooking is an art form. And of course, it took me much more time at the beginning. Now, I don't even think about it. For the first year, I lived with a menu on the refrigerator of what Bree needed. So yes, it took more time. But if you decided to learn a language tomorrow, it's going to take a lot of time. Or to draw, or to play a musical instrument. Anything at the beginning takes time. And then once you get better at it, it just becomes second nature. So neither of those excuses in my mind work. Unfortunately, people in the health field are finding over and over again that of the general population, only about, some say 30%, will actually make the commitment to change to a better lifestyle and eat healthier food. It can be as low as 3%, which is very sad because according to a Harvard study, 62% of the bankruptcies are because of medical debt. And if you think insurance is going to save you, 78% of those people had medical insurance. So your only true insurance is eating healthy food. It's a preventative. And if you think you're going to see symptoms, a lot of diseases don't show symptoms before they're on top of you. There can be brain issues, there can be digestive issues, there can be, I'm thinking kidney issues, and more. The Merck people have got a list of the different things that don't even show symptoms before all of a sudden you're diagnosed with something. Your best preventative, and that's the way I raised my daughter and lived our lives, was always to focus on preventing that seizure, preventing that cold, preventing that. And, your gut is 80% of your immune system. So what you eat definitely affects the strength of your immune system. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I've heard it so many times, automatically people say, oh yeah, it was too expensive, oh yeah, I just didn't have the time. And do you think you're not worth this? Do you think you're not worth the time? Do you think you're not worth eating really, really good foods that's going to nurture your body and give you a long life, a healthy life? I would rather someone say, I just don't want to do it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not interested. Than blaming the food being too expensive, which is not, because I'm going to tell you, $10 of brown rice, organic brown rice, and $10 of an organic bean like a chickpea or a dookie bean or a mung bean will feed a lot of people for a long period of time. So it's not too expensive. Fine, if someone doesn't want to do it. I mean, I go visit friends. I take my own food. I don't expect people to cook for me. I'm okay with that. If I were kosher, I wouldn't expect them to cook kosher for me. And whatever they're eating is fine. That's their choice. That's their journey. If people ask me questions, that's different. If they want to learn about how I'm living, that's different. I will help them out in any way I can. So, know, though, that if you choose the standard North American diet or the SAD diet, there will be medical consequences long term. And the heavy metals in non-organic food alone, bismuth is one, and cadmium is another, in non-organic foods that affect you neurologically. These heavy metals affect you according to, with Alzheimer's and dementia, which is increasing. Okay, you're young, you're not thinking about it now, but preventative is a lot. This is the most power you have, is the quality of the food you put in your mouth. That's where your power is. So I hope, at least if nothing else, please don't use the excuse of it's too expensive or you don't have the time. Because it hasn't been for me. It has not been for me in my experience. And I've been doing this intensely for 34 years now. Thank you.